Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Close to the Heart. I am Jason Klaus. As with every episode, just wanted to take a quick minute here and thank everybody for your continued support, for watching the show, for sharing the show. I really appreciate it. I got some tremendous feedback from the last couple of episodes. And some of them, perhaps I went a little bit overboard on. I understand that. But that's what happens when you get me talking about something that I'm pretty fired up about. So, especially with the whole Motivation Monday bonus episode that we dropped on Monday morning, both here on YouTube and on Facebook. I got a couple couple of responses. Why can't every video be like that? Well, because it's hard on the vocal cords to be yelling like that all the time. And you can plainly see where the professional wrestling influence really started to take hold in that particular instance. But this is a special back to school edition of Close to the Heart. It's that time of year, man. Summer is winding down. The nighttime temperatures are getting a little bit cooler, and a lot of things happening in this time of year. Depending on where you are and what you're into. The baseball season is starting to see the finish line, and the playoffs are looming. Football season right around the corner. These are marquee events for a lot of us, but for parents, and I would suggest probably for moms more so than dads, because more often than not, the moms are the ones left to carry the load, as it were. Not in every case, and I understand that, but more often than not, it's the moms that are really having to do everything, and so the kids are going back to school. Some of your kids may have already started the new year. We certainly wish them the absolute best, and to be as successful as they possibly can. We're told, even as when we were kids, when you were kid, the key to having a good day and a productive day at school is to have a nutritious, well-balanced breakfast before you head off to the bus stop or walk into the school. And that certainly is important, because a student is not going to perform as well, clearly, obviously, if they're thinking about, or they're worrying about, being hungry. And obviously, there are a lot of kids in the area that they don't have the luxury, for one reason or the other, whatever the case may be. They don't have that option to have that balanced breakfast. But some do, and that's fantastic. But I think just as important for a student to perform well, in addition to having a good balanced breakfast, is the kind of atmosphere that they're leaving before they head off to the bus stop. And what I mean by that is, and this is something that my wife and I have talked about, and I've read articles on social media, magazines, that type of thing, and I believe that a student's mindset and just outlook on things is really has just as much to do with what kind of day they're going to have as what kind of breakfast that they're having. What I think, and it's just, again, this is just my opinion, but if you know, if your morning is consisted of running around the house like a chicken with your neck cut off, a lot of chaos, a lot of hollering, a lot of screaming, there's going to be a little bit of built up animosity, or or concerns or something along these lines that's going to be on your student's mind when they go out to school. And depending on the severity of it, that's going to affect what kind of day that they have. If you have some sort of structure and everything is kind of low key but productive and overall positive, they're going to perform better. They're going to be in a better mood. They're going to be in a better mindset. So, to me, I think, what kind of day that your student has is going to be highly dependent on what kind of morning they had at home uh, before they left for school. The better the atmosphere at home, the better they're going to do in school. Now, that's not to say that every single day is going to be sunshine and rainbows, because that certainly is not the case. I know that firsthand. In our case, and anybody that knows my family on a personal basis, they will tell you that our day really depends on what kind of mood our daughter is in. At 6 years old, she acts like she's going on 17, and she's either going to wake up in a good mood or she's going to wake up in a bad mood, and there's no in between with her, and I'm sure many of you have that same thing going on. Um, we try, when that happens, we try to, pick out the positives and focus on the positives and try to get her back on track before she goes out to the school bus for her day. Um, there are going to be days that are chaotic. There are going to be days that are you wake up late and all hell has broken loose. And I understand that. I understand it as well as anybody does. Um, but for the most part, have a set structure, have a schedule, have them up by this time, have them fed by this time, have them go get dressed, do their hair, the teeth, makeup, the whole 9 yards. Um, if you have it set in something of a structure, you're probably going to find that things are going to go a lot smoother in those dreaded morning hours, especially when teenagers, come into play. It's easy for me to say because I'm not dealing with the teenage years yet. So, and I'm sure as we move forward here in the next couple of years, my son um, is 11 years old, and almost 11. So we're slowly but surely making our way there. But I'll tell you, these, with our case, our kids already act like teenagers. I can only imagine what some of you are going through. So with that, you know, this is where this comes into play, right? But it all starts at home. Home is square one. What kind of morning you have will dictate or have a major influence at the very least as to what kind of day your student is going to have. So keep that in mind when you feel like the wheels are falling off and you're just dealing with complete chaos and turmoil. Yes, there will be days like that, but then we can learn what did we not do right today, because we don't want to repeat that tomorrow. So it starts at home. Send your student to school as happy and as focused as you possibly can, and they will have probably a lot better day. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more Close to the Heart right after this. Check out Todd Gilbert and the Toddcast Internet Radio every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on Chew.tv. Plus, the new album from Todd's group, The Undesirables, Funhouse. You can check out this awesome local band wherever music is available. Welcome back to the show. You're watching Klaus to the Heart. I am Jason Klaus, and we're coming back from a break on this episode. If you have any ideas, comments, concerns, shout outs you'd like to have done, whatever the case may be, by all means drop us an email, klaustotheheart@gmail.com, or send us a direct message on Facebook. Just look for Klaus to the Heart, and I read everything that comes in, and we're slowly but surely making improvements to the show. So we designated this as a special back to school edition here on Klaus to the Heart this week. And every once in a while, a story will come across either, whether it goes viral on social media, or, sometimes it's buried on the third or fourth page of your local newspaper, but it's a story that really tugs at the heartstrings, right? Because we get on social media, and especially with Facebook, and you go through the news feed, and my God, the amount of negativity that's on there is sometimes it's suffocating. Every once in a while, though, there's going to be a story that comes across that really hammers home what the good is in this, that there is still good, pure love in this world. And I tend to like to focus on stories like that. One story you probably, if you are on social media, you either read or heard or seen something about the story of 8-year-old Connor out of Wichita, Kansas. And Connor is autistic, and evidently was having a pretty rough time on his first day of school. And he was, huddled up in the corner crying, not really sure what to do. And along comes Christian. And Christian went over there and consoled his friend, took him by the hand, and led him to his class. I find that to be one of the most heartwarming things I have read in quite some time. I mean, really tugged at the heartstrings, and it's a glaring contrast to the constant barrage of negativity and hatred that this 8-year-old kid did the right thing. How many other kids walked past, Connor, and just didn't pay attention to him, or didn't know what to do, or whatever. In Christian's case, that certainly wasn't the case. He demonstrated a trait that I wish each and every person could have, and that is compassion. I mean, for one, the compassion that Christian had for Connor is just incredible. Just incredible. And clearly that is an indication of how Christian is being raised. I don't know these kids. I don't know their parents. But I do know that at the age of 8 years old, our kids look to us as parents for guidance, and for us to teach them and to lead by example. And apparently, Christian's parents are doing a remarkable job with this kid. And, I believe it was Christian's mom. I may have that wrong, but somebody snapped a picture of them standing in line waiting to go in school hand in hand. And it was one of those really heartwarming moments. And to kind of piggyback off the first segment that we did here on this episode, it all starts at home, man. You gotta have a balanced home base, because so much is just everything goes back to that home base. If you have a rock solid foundation at home, and there is structure, and there's compassion, and there's love, and there's all of these different positive attributes, the kids are going to respond accordingly, and they're going to go out into this world and try to make a difference. Now, I am pretty sure that Christian did not set out to become an internet celebrity when he went to go help his friend, but it just goes to show that in this day and age, when there is so much negativity and things of that nature, every once in a while, a glaring example will come that it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. All you got to do is just be a decent person and listen to your heart before the heart and the mind become corrupted with bias, prejudice, racism, and all these other terrible things that unfortunately are still a pretty big factor in our society. So Connor and Christian are definitely have not fallen into that trap yet, and let's hope that they don't, because friendships like that, bonds like that are very hard to come by in this day and age. And it all starts at home, man. It really does. It really does. So, for Christian and Connor, for all of the students who have either started their new year or are going back to school next week, we certainly wish you the absolute best in this year. And again, hit the subscribe button if you're digging what you're seeing, and just keep checking us out. We'll drop more episodes. We'll drop bonus episodes. We'll drop Facebook exclusive episodes. I try to keep it fresh, and I'm trying to get as much content out as I can, because I'm sure there'll be weeks where I just won't be able to do this, because of all the other activities we got going on. So with that, again, I can't thank you enough for your support, and we'll see you right here next time on Clouds to the Heart.